This is the notes for solving two-step equations. Our directions today say to first undo addition and subtraction by doing the opposite operation, and then we're going to undo the multiplication and division by doing the opposite operation. Okay, so in our first problem, we're looking at 10 plus 7g equals 52. Okay. Yesterday we looked at the bags and coins, so you could also think of this as like 10 coins plus 7 mystery pouches equals 52 coins. So my first step, we draw that balance beam if that helps you, is to get rid of my coins on both sides. So I'm going to undo my addition by subtraction. Opposite would be to subtract. 10 minus 10 is 0. I don't have to write down 0 here. I can just show they cancel. All that's left here though is 7g. Okay, so please don't write down the 0 here. All I have left is 7g on my left side. On the right side, 52 minus 10, 42. And then my second step says undo multiplication and division by the opposite operation. So the opposite of multiplying would be to divide by 7. If I had 7 mystery pouches worth 42 coins, we would say each mystery pouch is worth 6 coins. So over there in my check step, I'm going to go ahead and write down my very original problem. But instead of g, I'm going to go ahead and put in this 6. Okay. So we'll go back to the very original equation. It's just instead of g, I'm going to go ahead and substitute in my solution. So let's check to make sure it works. Order of operations, I would do 7 times 6 is 42 first. Copy the other things down. And then 10 plus 42 is 52. That does equal 52, so we're good. Okay. All right, let's try another one. We have 15 mystery coins equals 7 mystery coins, and then my pouches over here that are. So my first step to undo my addition is to subtract 7 on both sides. My goal, that balance beam helps you, is to have just r on the right side by itself. Okay. So if 7 minus 7 becomes 0, I don't have to write that down. All I need to copy is the r divided by 3. 15 minus 7 is 8. What's different about this problem is that r is getting divided by 3 already. So to undo that, the opposite would be to multiply. Okay, so times 3 and divide by 3, again cancels. I would have to multiply by 3 on the other side to keep it balanced. So my solution for r is 24. Okay. Over in my check step, I'm going to copy down the original problem. But instead of r, I'm going to go ahead and put in that 24. So let's make sure it works. 24 divided by 3, order of operations, I would divide first and get 8. Copy everything else down. 7 plus 8 is 15. So we are check, good to go. Okay, so just keep in mind, my first step is to get r by itself. So typically that involves a multiplication or division over here. So I want to get rid of the addition or subtraction first. My final step, then when I multiply, I only have one number to multiply here, and I don't have to have multiple things to distribute to get taken times 3. Okay. All right. In our next example, we have negatives, but that's okay. We're still going to do the same steps we did last time. So I want to get rid of my addition or subtraction first. I want just my w to be on the left side of my equation. So the opposite of minus 8 would be to plus 8 this time. So negative 6w equals 30. And then instead of timesing by negative 6, we're going to go ahead and divide by negative 6. Okay, so notice the steps here, guys, were the same. So again, I'm getting rid of my coins first. It's just it was a minus, so the opposite was to add. Then I got my letter by itself, so then I could divide. 30 divided by negative 6 just happens to be a negative 5. But my order of the steps were still the same. Okay, so my check step, negative 6 times my negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my w is negative 5. Negative 6 times negative 5 is a positive 30. Negative times a negative is a positive 30. When I minus 8, yes, I do get the answer I wanted of 22. Okay. So just keep in mind, if I get a negative answer, that's totally okay. When I put it in though, negative times a negative did give me a positive solution. So then I had 30 minus 8, and I got what I wanted. Okay, last one in this section. Here's my mystery pouches. I have 7 coins to get rid of. It's a minus though, so to undo the minus, we would add 7 to both sides. So this time I have my mystery pouches divided by 2 equals 15. My goal is to get that letter on one side by itself. So over here, it was on the right side, so I got rid of the 7. On this side, it's on the left side, so again, I got rid of the number that's with the addition or subtraction. It's on the same side as my letter. So now, if I have something divided by 2, I can multiply by 2, and I only have to take one other number times 2. I have just my letter on this side, so 2 and my minus 2 would cancel, and 15 times 2 is 30. Over here in my check step, we were supposed to divide by 2 and subtract 7 and get 8. So if I put it in 30, 30 divided by 2 is 15, and 15 minus 7 is 8. So check, we're good to go. Okay, so the important thing in this section is just keep remembering I want to get rid of the addition and subtraction first so that I have just my letter on one side. Okay, so we're going to start to add more to this equation here in the next coming days, and there's going to be more steps. But at the very basic level, my goal is to get just the letter by itself. My very last step will always be that multiplication or division. So I want just my letter on one side by itself before I attempt to multiply or divide. Alright, so let's try our 2 word problems here. It says, John was planning a party for him and his friends. The party center charges a flat fee of $37 to rent the room, and then it's an additional $8 per person. If the total bill is $133, again my total, so that would be my final answer, equals $133, how many people will be at the party? Okay, so there's 2 different parts of this equation that I see. The flat fee is something that happened once, so this $37 they paid just for showing up to get the room. And then after that, they were paying $8 per person. Well, if it's per person, that's going to keep changing, whether I invite 1 person, 2 person, 3 people. The more people I add to my party, this cost is going to keep going up, so that needs a variable. I went ahead and gave it the letter P, so I can remember those stating at the cost per person. All right, so in solving this, if I know my final bill was $133, and I paid $37 just for coming that day, I have $96 left to spend. Okay, 37 and minus 37 is 0. I don't have to write that down though. My goal was I got rid of the flat fee to figure out how much money I had left to spend per person at my event. Okay, so 96 divided by $8 per person. My calculator, 96 divided by 8. I could invite 12 people to my party. So you can use X if you want. I just like to give it a different letter so I can remember what my label is supposed to be here at the end. And let's do that check step again to the side. So 37 plus $8 per person equals 133. So if I brought 12 people to my party, in my calculator I'm going to do 8 times 12 and get 96. And then with my initial fee of $37, 37 plus 96 would give me 133. Okay. So very similar to problem A and above. I had an initial amount of coins. My mystery pouches equals a total. Okay, so when I go and try and solve it, I'm getting rid of how much extra money I had to start off with for my flat fee. And then I was dividing it by the number of people at my party. Make sure you give some kind of variable there to how many people that were coming to his party. All right, last one. Andrea is saving up to buy a new laptop. She already has 105 saved up. So that's my initial amount. I highlight that in orange so it matches like last time. And then she decided to put 20 into her savings account every month. So that's going to have a variable with it because that keeps changing my $20 every time. If my final cost is $365, my goal is to have it equal $365, how many months will she need to save? So very similar to last problem, I had an initial amount. So I had $105 already. Maybe it was a birthday party. And then she's getting $20 per month after that. You do get a point on the test for writing this equation. Okay, so make sure we have it set up correctly in our notes today. I have an initial fee, how much it costs per month, per person, per something, so that gets a variable, equals my total. All right, so if she already has 105, how much more money does she need to save? 365 minus 105 is 260. And then she's saving $20 per month. We're going to go ahead and divide by 20. So my months would equal 13. Again, I use that letter M to remind myself that my variable is months. So over here to the side of my check step, I'm putting in my original equation, 105 plus 20 times my months would be 13. So if I do 20 times 13, we're going to get $260 equals my 365. So 105 plus 260, 365. So check, it worked out. If I bought for 13 months, if I saved up $20 each month times 13, plus my 105 originally, I would have my $365. Okay. So one last reminder notes today. I do need to set up this equation. I should have some initial amount of coins. My mystery pouches equals my total. So my goal is always to get my mystery thing by itself. So whatever my variable is, I'm going to undo this addition or subtraction. And then my last step will be to undo the multiplication or division. Make sure you show all your steps. And in the side today, there's also work for you to show this check step to double check, make sure it works.